Welcome to today's MI Monday, Taming the Fixing Reflex. This is probably one of the most challenging and counterintuitive skills to learn in MI. Most of us get into this profession because we want to help, and we have the tendency to be problem solvers. Unfortunately, that desire to jump in and offer solutions to people can actually backfire, and research around behavior change even proves this. What we know about behavior change is that people are much more likely to follow through with an idea that they feel they came up with on their own. Most of the time, when people are told what to do, especially if they're ambivalent, the result is more resistance. But the more they hear themselves talk about their reasons for wanting to change talk, the more likely they are to actually turn those words into action. Within the spirit of MI, and this is truly the essence and flavor of motivational interviewing, we find partnership, acceptance, compassion, and empowerment. The fixing reflex just crushes the spirit of MI, plain and simple. Think about it. If we're problem solving for our clients, we're in a way kind of telling them that we're the expert, and that's lack of partnership, that they are broken, and that's lack of acceptance, and that they're incapable of coming up with their own solution, lack of empowerment. Now, if we've already coached a person around their importance and confidence, and we understand their values and desires, and we've really tried to evoke next steps, but they're feeling stuck and at a loss, we're not going to just leave them hanging. There is a way that we can share and offer up information and motivational interviewing too. And we will go over that in a future MI Monday. But today's focus is on learning how to rein in the fixing reflex. So what can help is working on your self-awareness, starting with recognizing your own triggers. Our fixing reflex can be triggered for so many different reasons. One is just a sincere desire to help. Another is just habit. Maybe you're a teacher or an educator, and that's just sort of what you do. Another thing is when we identify with what our person is sharing, and we just really want to share what's worked for us. Righteous indignation. We vehemently disagree with our person's perspective, or they say something that really rubs us the wrong way. Sometimes we might just feel uncomfortable with the emotions or the feelings that another person is having, and we want to shift away from them. Another trigger is just feeling impatient. We get impatient with the person that we're coaching. We just feel like we could just make things so much easier and quicker if we just gave them the answer, right? All of these things are totally natural. And what I'm proposing is that for really effective support and behavior change, we want to try to just sort of hold that stuff in, let the person come up with their ideas, right? We want to facilitate that. So take a minute to just notice how the following statements make you feel. Where do you feel your reaction? Is it in your body? Is it maybe just mental? Vaping is much healthier than smoking, so I'm not super worried about it. I'm sorry, but people who think that masks stop the spread of virus are just stupid. Meditation isn't for me because I just can't quiet my mind. I just need a meal plan to follow for me to lose this weight. I felt so isolated over this pandemic. I don't even know where to start in terms of reaching out to people. So practice taming your writing reflex and write out a response to each of the above statements. I'm also going to post these in the chat for you. So what do you do if your fixing reflex is bolted out of the gate? With self-awareness and practice, you can still stay true to MI form. So maybe you've noticed that you just offered some advice without asking for permission first. Just course correct. Well, that's just one of several things I've heard some people have found helpful. But before we explore more ideas, I'm wondering what's coming to mind for you. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself. Before I spout out ideas, since you understand your own flow and routine best, what are your ideas for what could help? So next time you're chomping at the bit to offer someone an option or a solution, just ask yourself, have I already tried to bring out their own ideas? What other options can I throw into the mix so that they maintain autonomy, right? You always want to give them a choice so they sense that they're in the driver's seat. And lastly, did I ask them for permission first? So I hope this MI Monday felt helpful for you. We would love to hear how you're keeping your writing reflex or fixing reflex now in check. And we'll look forward to seeing your reflections and comments in the chat. Happy Monday.